Welcome to a Friday night episode of Taking It to the Note. I'm your host, Boston Jimmie, and tonight I have a gentleman on who's had a cigar line, Erez Cigars. He's been doing it, I think, for 18 years. I've seen his brand out there a lot. I've smoked him now and then, but I finally have had the opportunity to bring him on the show. But we'll bring him in just a moment. The first thing we want to do is run our standard advertising segment, and then we'll be right back with the show.
And today's show is brought to you by Casa Cuevas Cigars. In the 19th century, Juan Cuevas, Spanish immigrant from Santander, began what was to be a family business which now spans 4 generations. Like others fortunate enough to live and work in Pinar del Rio province of Cuba, Juan commenced cultivating tobacco, turning it into a successful business. Years later, in the Ciabo Valley of the Dominican Republic, Luis Cuevas Sr., Juan Jr.'s son, carried on the family tradition of handcrafting fine cigars in the family's cigar factory, Tabacalera Las Lavas. Today, Luis Sr. is joined by his son Luis Jr. in the manufacturing and sale of premium long filler cigars. So check out Casa Cuevas Cigars at www.casacuevascigars.com and on their Instagram and Facebook channels. And today's show is brought to you by Perilous, a game of ultimate cigar trivia, where contestants compete to win prizes and gift certificates to purchase their favorite products. You can join Perilous by going to stogiepress.com/perilous and register to be a contestant.
Yanni,
Hello, Jimmie.
those of you that saw the Perilous part, yes, go register for Perilous, stogiepress.com/perilous. Let's come back to Yanni. Yanni, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Jimmie? How are everybody?
I'm good. I do have one more thing I want to do before we get into everything today, Yanni. For
Okay.
those that know or don't know, there is a gentleman named Gabby Cruz IIL Chan, and also known as El Chan, who passed away during PCA. He had his own brand out of Puerto Rico. So I just want to take a quick moment of silence here to remember him. I should put up a couple of slides for those that may or may not have known him. So Gabby, I think was 43 or 44 years old. I understand he died of a massive stroke, and it was like on the last day or the day after the last day of PCA. He had a whopping time there. It was awesome. He said everything was really going great. So you never know. Enjoy your lives.
Definitely. Rest in peace, Gabby. I know the guy. I met him a couple times. Very great guy. I didn't do any business with him or anything, but we miss him.
So we always will.
Yep.
So Yanni, let's get to you and your beginnings kind of in the cigar industry. And if I understand some things correctly, you really started smoking cigars when you were part of the Israeli military?
Yes, correct. I in my childhood I go to school into the army. Basically, it's kind of like in the U.S. the boarding school, but this boarding school was into the Navy. So you
Hmm.
basically start your life or adult life when I was 15 inside the boarding Navy school for the army, and then after that you continue to be in the Navy in the army. I was my service was on one of the warship in the Navy, in Israeli Navy, and with the warship or the way that you serve over there is always something to smoke. And I never smoke anything else, only cigar that I can put my hand on. Uh, and that's it. So I
Oh,
started to do from that.
so
It was most of the cigar.
how old were you when you left Israel to come to the United States?
I left in 1999. I was about 20, 27, 28 years old. I moved from Israel to New York City. I was in accounting. This is my background when I learned in the university back in Israel. Uh, I was an accounting slash CPA and financial guy for a large company in the US, printing in the printing industry.
Hmm.
Quickly, I understand that if I want to be the dream in the US, I need to do something else, not just to be 8 to 5 job. And I moved into the real estate around 2000, 2001. I opened an office as a salesman, uh, and we start to invest in the real estate. And I become a real estate man. This is what I do until today, basically. In
And then somewhere,
2006,
yeah, 2006 it was.
yeah,
Um,
in 2006, today I can say I was smart, but I sold a couple of the property, keep some of them, moved to Miami to start my semi-retirement. But I say, hey, in Miami, it's no good to retire. You eat, you drink, and you smoke. And the gain, as we know, as the gain, as you know, come up. So I decided to do something, and I say, you know what? I know some family, good friend of mine down in the DR, so I go to visit them. I love cigars, so let's do for me some cigars without an intention to get into the business. So we did few thousand cigars for me, for my friends, whatever
and
I
these are
like.
just personal use cigars
Personal,
that
personal use
you had the
completely.
money, let's go make my own cigars and I can be happy the rest of my life.
Simple like that. And shortly after that, I drawn into the business and I want to learn more. I like it. Let's go to the field. Let's go to the rolling place. Then go to how you grow tobacco. And, and I start to just travel to Dominican Republic and learn more and more and more. And with the feedback that I got from my friends and other people that smoke the cigars, I decide, let's try. So middle late 2006, I actually start to produce more cigars. A factory over there down in the DR
Sure.
did it for me.
These basics, right?
Yep,
So you
yep,
had
yeah. The
three
white,
different kinds. You had a Connecticut, you had a Habano, and you had a Maduro, and I believe they came out in 8 different vitolas in each blend.
correct, correct.
That's crazy.
So I start, yeah, I start actually with the Lonsdale. Lonsdale is my size that I smoke few a day. And we did Lonsdale, we did some Toro and a Churchill. And then I spoke with his name was Juan, the master blender at the same place. Hey, if everything is the same blend we'll do, why we not just change the wrapper? And then we have three wrappers. And we start to do it. Back then, if you remember, 2007, the big Vitola was never a strong thing. Everybody wanted the Corona, the Robusto, the small. Nothing go to the big. The big came later in the years. And when you ask most of the people that open the cigar or get into the cigar business, they tell them, hey, it's only like do like 3 lines or 3 wrapper or 3 cigars.
Because I was going to say, of the 8 Vitolas in each blend of your inaugural line, what are the top 3 selling Vitolas?
It's a Robusto, double Corona, and the Gordo. There is some and some area, actually in Europe, they like to have the Churchill because my Churchill is 52 by 5 by 7.5. So the I don't want to be categorized, but they like over there in Europe smoke long time and they don't want to put it down and they want to have more the flavor. In the States, they want the big ring age, the 60, the bigger is better. So there's some area that some of the cigars are much more selling than other places, Down in Florida, my Connecticut is very, very popular.
Now, how long were these the 3 blends you had? How long did these 3 blends just stay in your portfolio and that's all you could get with these 3 blends and those 8 Vitolas?
It's always. It's from the beginning.
When did you start to add new blends? Because we're going to get into blends today, but there were some other new blends you came out earlier, or was that?
Yeah. No. It's the same blend. When the market asked for bigger sizes, so actually we started with the double Corona. It was like around 2011 that we did the double Corona. And then as the market asked, we had the Gordo and we had the Lancero as well.
Right. But then you came out with the classic.
But all of them.
When did this?
The classical line, it's a very interesting how it came. Yeah, it's come out in 2014.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Right.
We're very strong selling our stuff here international. So when I start to sell international, like you see on the Habano, the name Habano was a problem to the Cuban government or someone from the Cuba. So I got actually a letter. Hey guys, you can't use the Habano. You need to take it off, otherwise we're going to sue you. So we changed it to a Classico, changed a little bit the wrapper as well, and Classico actually selling only in the Europe market.
Oh, okay. So that's a European
only in the
zone.
Outside the US, basically. Outside the US.
And then after the Classico, was there anything else before the latest that you launched now?
Yes, on 2013, 14, the same time, I came with the box press.
Okay.
The box press, 60 by 6 box press, that actually we call it unsmokable. It's a double arrow, but, other company came with the same idea and very popular, very expensive. I don't want to just say the name to them. So I tried to do the same thing with a little bit lower price. And it was very success. We launched it up in Wisconsin. Basically, it's a 60 by 6 Connecticut Habano and a Maduro. That nobody today, until today, do any Connecticut box press and that size. 60 by 6 box press to do it with a Connecticut wrapper is a little bit delicate with the wrapper. So
I would
most
put
of
it
the
in the
big
same
companies don't.
category as like Cameroon wrappers, very delicate also.
Yes, correct. So we came with that box of 20 and box of 10. We didn't extend the sizes. We just keep it that way, and it's doing great for us. Uh, that's it. This is basically until that. After that, we come with another few lines.
So, okay, so there was a few lines before we get into the ones you launched here at PCA. What were the other ones that filled in the portfolio?
It was later into the COVID, basically. Usually, all of the cigar, all of the tobacco, the leftover, we always used to sell it, give it away, and other company they're using, you know, sandwich cigars, I can say. So we came with a Gran Tamboril. Gran Tamboril is basically a sandwich cigar, but we're using the premium tobacco that we're using in the Erez.
Mm-hmm.
But the cigar is only 4 inches, 52 by 4, 52 bellicoso by 4.5, with the closed foot, and 60 by 4 closed foot, with an economic price because of it's a sandwich cigar, and it so well that we sold off. Right now, I'm not offering it to nobody, not selling nothing, just because we need to do inventory.
Right.
I don't like to offer nothing if we don't have it in our shelf.
And then you came out with this.
We just came a couple of months ago.
Boss.
It's a box press Boss 60, 70 by 7. We have a
70 by 7.
box press, regular sizes, regular, square, and a 66. Now we're going to have
Nice.
it also. Yeah, we came out only with the Maduro, but now we're going to start to have it as well with Connecticut Habano with the 3 sizes.
And then you came out another thing this year, and this is what we'll talk some more about, because
Yep.
there's a theme here. So there's boss, right? Okay.
Yep.
So you can't use El Jefe because that's already used. So boss makes sense, right? And then you
Yep.
came out with a line called the Landlord, okay,
Yep.
in various sizes. And I found that interesting as a name because this must go back to your days in real estate.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
You were a landlord.
I'm the landlord. I'm the real estate, and I'm the landlord until today. It's nothing. We still own property up in New York City, and funding all of my expenses and this business as well. But as everybody know, looking at the news even today, we follow this squatter, news that everybody see on the TV. When you're a landlord, you get also into some problems and into some issues and misunderstanding and all kind of mishmash with this business to protect the tenant against the landlord and all kind of stuff like that. So we can get into
So
it with my experience.
this was named because of your landlord experience.
Yes, yes. We
And
sit down one day, and we say, "Hey, you are the landlord." Everybody called me the landlord, the landlord. So you're the landlord, and you're smoking cigars. Why are you doing this landlord cigar?
you're the boss.
And I'm the boss. Yeah, and it's
There's a
actually on the
theme.
label. On the label is basically this is me actually.
Okay.
This is me actually.
Now, I guess I should bring up the fact too, that you as a landlord ran into some interesting legal issues back in early 2000s, right?
Yeah, you know, it
And
was in 2000.
there
It
was
was in
some
2000.
there was a whole lot of things going on in your life around that. Do you want to comment, talk a little bit about what was going on?
Yeah. Definitely, I share some people that interesting about it, and of course, everybody can call me and ask me about it and talk to me about it. Basically, in 2016, it was a legal procedure of eviction of a tenant that turned around after that the government think that I steal money from the same tenant. So just a little bit of background. If you are a landlord and you own a building, most of the time you own the building under corporation. So you don't do any legal work or legal or any an eviction or anything like that. You must to represent. This is like a joke in New York City that you must to have an attorney on any real estate transaction that you do. So we go ahead and try to evict the tenant. I didn't evict her. I didn't go there. I don't even go to the court because I can do nothing. It's only the attorney. And the tenant got evicted with the marshal. The marshal came over, evicted her, and she turned around, go to the judge or go to the court and ask her, no, illegal evicted, all kind of stuff like that, all kind of story. After a couple of weeks of talking and talking and talking, the judge decided, hey, give this poor lady to go back to the apartment. She didn't tell her to pay me the rent. She just tell her, go back to the apartment. And down the line, months or 2 months later, she left the apartment. But in the meantime, the government thought that I took money from the tenant and didn't want to give her the key for the apartment and illegal evicted. We evict her with the marshal. The marshal go do it. Know myself, know with me. Even it was like the day before Passover even. And as everybody know, I don't live in New York. I live in Miami. So the government thought it was the same year of 2016-17 with our former president. New York City tried to go after uh, landlord or crook landlord or slumlord or anything like that you can talk or think about it, and basically go after them and try to investigate them. So they say they found one of my tenants or the tenant that were evicted say that I took money from them and never gave them the key and stuff like that. So the
Mhm.
well, you miss me.
Yeah, well,
Hello.
you were just talking about how the tenant accused you of taking money, and then the police investigated with you. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here.
Yeah, yeah. So you were talking about the tenant accused you of stealing money, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind of
and then yeah, and they go to the police and the DA that I stole money. So the DA, of course, is the time for getting all of the tenants, all of the landlords. So they put a warrant for me, and they say I run away from the war from New York City. I don't run away from New York City. I live in Miami, not in New York. And we come arrest me for a couple of days. We go and
they
forth to
arrested
the
you. They arrested
yeah.
you, so you actually spent time in a lockup.
Yeah. I spent it was like a little bit over 24 hours. I post a bill of $15,000, $20,000, and I got a release. I need to stay in New York for a couple of weeks, and we go back and forth with the judge, with everybody all around it, and they don't have any clue. They don't have any evidence that I did anything or did wrong anything. And just for a mention, I'm a landlord since 2002. I got hundreds of tenants go through my system, and non-eviction can create in New York City without a legal attorney. So, and I'm not running after tenants that don't pay or anything like that. You know, you don't pay, get the process. In the current right now, as we're speaking, I probably have 20 or 29 cases of eviction in just in Brooklyn
Mm,
itself.
mm.
This is part of the business. This is part of how the New York City handle the homelesses in New York City.
Right. So
And
these
you
are
know,
very low cost housing that you're doing. Okay.
yes,
And that's a
yes, it's
tricky,
heavy.
I know that's a tricky business because I know people that do it and
Yeah, yeah, and
I
this
don't
is
know
usually
anybody does it. So
heavy.
do you still have real estate up there? Are you still in that part
Yes,
of
definitely.
world?
Yeah,
Wow.
yes. Where I own more than few buildings in Brooklyn, in Fresh Meadow, Queens, Yonkers, Westchester. We're still doing it. You know, this is part of the business. It's not even bother me, whatever. Of course, it's bother me that people lying and try to get justice that they're not supposed to. But in the end of the day, it's all about rent. This is my income, and I need to pay my expenses, my food on the table. And but it's a beautiful old story. You probably know it better than me. Nice, handsome Jewish landlord with the blue eyes and a Cuban lady that tries to live in the apartment and she don't have rent and she just immigrant to the state. So it's a losing situation, no matter what you do.
So
But this is what it is.
what is the state of that case? Did that go all the way through the court? Did you have to do something? You have to pay a
No,
fine?
nothing. Everything was dismissed
Hmm.
and 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 expunged, and it's not longer exists. Very simple like that. But it was taking a lot of money off my side as far as attorney, and because the state in the beginning obviously didn't believe, and they want to investigate me, all the houses that I have, all of the loan that I got in, and it was they think they found a big scam or a big slumlord. Tell them okay, I don't do
It's
nothing
funny.
wrong, so
It's funny
go
you
ahead.
bring up the term. So we talk landlord, but you also have a product called the slumlord or the
No,
short
this is
sale.
this is
No,
the
the
short
short sale.
sale.
No, there's here, hold on a
Everything
second. Where's the other
everything
one?
that we
This one
did
here was the slumlord,
in
right?
you hear
Was
me?
the Yeah, yeah. So did you come out with one called the slumlord too?
Yes,
Is that what
slumlord
the
is a Solomon shape.
that's this one right here?
Hold on.
Hmm?
Let me let
Okay. You there now?
okay, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So this is the
Sorry about that.
slumlord, the Solomon,
Correct.
right?
Yes, yes. So
Um,
we create four sizes. Every size that we create is basically a name on a legal in a real estate names. So the first one is a short sale, basically short cigar,
these.
short sale. Short sale, yep. Short sale, it means that you buying a property less less the amount of you owe to the mortgage company. It's
Right.
called a short sale. It's 64 by 4. We have at Connecticut, Abano, and Maduro. Then we have the second one is torpedo, but a little bit longer, 7 and a quarter long, and we call it eviction. The idea of eviction, it looks like a chisel, but I cannot do a chisel. It's a patent by LFD.
That's
So
correct.
yeah.
No more
So we
legal
keep it as
troubles for you. So
yeah, no, no, I don't need it.
keep your lawyers very busy.
So we call it, yeah, yeah. So we call it the eviction as well. Connecticut, Habano, Maduro, and all of them. And then the perfecto, the cigar that you're smoking right now, we call it an holdover. Holdover is basically the tenant paying, everything is okay. But if you want to get back the property to yourself, it's called the procedure called hold over, that you want to hold back your property. And the last one, slumlord. Anything with the real estate must to be the name slumlord. So it's a Solomon shaped cigar, 58 by 7 1/4. We out of hot stock, so sorry guys, we don't have the label. It's few bundles that I left over here with me in Miami. But basically, we call it the slumlord. It's a Solomon shaped cigar. Again, Habano, Maduro, and a Connecticut. Uh, this is bring the profile, even the cigar that you're smoking. The profile, even the cigars, I try to get it into the real estate mind.
Well, I was going to ask
Even
you
with
that
the
in your thinking of the blends, um, what were you thinking as far as like the landlord, like this one right here? What is the flavor here in your mind representative of that process in real
so
estate?
yeah. So when I start to do it, I start to do the 64. I only did the 64 about a year ago, and I wanted to have short short smoke, powerful, give you like a punch in the back of your throat in the pilot that you have some spices tingling in your tongue, and I want to see how people are gonna react to the name or react to my picture on it or to the landlord more than to react to the cigars. Cigar can call anything that you want, but to the concept. And it was success. It was crazy. People calling me all over. I want a box. Why? You are not even smoke cigar. No, no. I want the box because it said the landlord. I want to have it on my table. So I understand that the name in the beginning bring a lot of into the table. So I developed the same thing on the short sale. I had the Maduro and I had the Connecticut that I didn't have it in the beginning. And then we create basically the eviction and the holdover. But into the cigar, the holdover that you're smoking right now, it's more laid back. It's
What's the
fast
blend
smoke.
on this? This is a Habano.
The blend. This is the Habano 2000. You got some Dominican with Jalapa, Nicaragua inside the blend. But
Mm.
I'm using in all of my cigar San Vincente.
San
So the San
Vicente.
Vincente, yeah, from Dominica. So San Vincente basically bring you more sweetness into the smoke. And but if you use it and it's too much smoke, the smoke will be bad. So you need to find the balance with the paprika from the Nicaragua, the Jalapa or the Criollo 98 that we put it inside to make it spicy, balance it. So on the old over and in the Solomon, I try to have the cigar more laid back, nothing strong, slow down, smoke it fast, and continue. Nothing to sit down and have like an hour cigar. In eviction and the short sale, I try to get more the spicy into it, more the heavy smoke to
Okay.
get a different view of the profile. So each one of them have a different flavor as it's come with the wrapper.
Okay, we're gonna take the second commercial break. When we come back, I want to dig a little more into the Landlord series that I'm smoking, and let's talk a little bit more about PCA and your views on PCA, because that
Okay,
fresh off the show. So
definitely.
let's do this.
And today's show is brought to you by Bocock Brothers Cigars, a new and active brand founded by two Honduran brothers, Bryant and Douglas Bocock. The brand zeroes in on those folks that are looking for easy to smoke cigars inspired by unusual circumstances. Very importantly, named after their very interesting and imitable last name, Bocock. Right now, Bocock Brothers is featuring their signature edition, made at the AJ Fernandez factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. It features an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, a Nicaraguan Habano binder, and a Nicaraguan filler. Available in three popular formats: a Robusto, a Toro, and a Gordo. You can check out Bocock Brothers Cigars at www.bocockbrothers.com. And today's show is brought to you by Platinum Nova Cigars. Platinum Nova is a family owned and operated premium cigar company. Only the highest vintage tobacco and the most skilled hand workmanship go into the making of each Platinum Nova cigar. This results in a timeless blend of art and craftsmanship. The Nova brand and the family's work are a tribute and an honor to their grandfather to always remember him and his infinite passion for the finest cigars. Their love for cigars started with their grandfather, a dedicated master blender and entrepreneur in the cigar industry. So the next time you're looking for that exquisite cigar experience, pick up a Platinum Nova. You could check them out at Platinum Nova Cigars, www.novacigar.com, and on their Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter channels. This episode of Taking It to the Nub is sponsored by the Box Press Cigar app, the ultimate cigar smoking experience. With Box Pressed, you can easily catalog cigars with your own virtual humidor, quickly rate and record notes for any cigar using the Smoke Session feature, receive intelligent cigar recommendations based on your personal taste profile, and access exclusive discounts from top cigar brands. You can even shop your favorite cigars directly in the app, then automatically sync the order to your virtual humidor, plus so much more. Download Box Press today by typing bxpr.sd/install into any web browser and discover the world of cigars like never before. That's bxpr.sd/install. And today's show is brought to you by All Saints Cigars, a company founded in 2019 and headed up by industry veteran Mickey Pegg and his two friends, Martin Corboy, a successful restaurateur, and Frank Leo, an Air Force Academy graduate military veteran. As Mickey explains it, they were all sitting down, talking and smoking cigars, and finally they decided that they would do this thing together. It was time. Mickey said, "I decided if I'm going to work hard at it, it should be something I love. Besides, a tough day with a cigar is better than a great day doing anything else." Soon after, they began the process of launching All Saints Cigars, jokingly referring to themselves as the Holy Trinity: St. Michael, St. Martin, and St. Francis. They chose for their logo the cross of St. James, the patron saint of Nicaragua, the country where their cigars would be produced.
Um, okay, so just before the break, we were talking through the Landlord Series. With everything that happened that you explained,
Yeah.
coming out and there were like people like saying you're just this rich guy living the life in Miami, you got all this money, and you know you're treating these little people like they don't exist, you know, get out of my place. And you get all this press, all this stuff is coming out against you. You get your name cleared, it's impunged, never happened in the court in from a legal perspective. And now you launch this brand called the Landlord, the Slumlord. Um, do you see that as a poke in the eye to the legal system, to the real estate system in New York, or is that something that you want to say was more, it's about being a landlord, and these are the troubles and tribulations?
Listen, it's when this is that all happened. Uh, it's trouble to me, trouble to my kids, to my family, to my wife. Everybody was that's affected from that, and it's in fact it affects us in many ways. You know, even the kids when the police came over to your morning before the kids go to school and get arrested, nobody know why. Even
Yeah,
myself,
they
I
do
didn't
it
know why.
early in the morning, right? They
Early
don't
in the
mess
morning,
around.
early in the morning. Yep, yeah, with all squad and everything like that. I thought I back to Israel to Gaza in one moment, but the kids don't know it. They live the good life and the happy family life in Miami, and this has happened. So in the end of the day, for me to come over and create all of this landlord line, it's listen. This is who I am. I can't get away what I do, and and basically create limonada from lemon. You know, they tried to come up to me, and I came up with something else. The turnaround that is be a good business as well, but also my profile. My picture right now it's on that, and as you can see, and people love it. People love the cigar. But at the end of the day, it's a cigar. So we create a big atmosphere and a
Maybe we
profile
say,
behind the landlord that people love it.
so like we have a saying in America, you took lemons and made lemonade out of it.
Correct?
So you turned something into that was a very negative moment in your life. Um, you were attacked by people, they were battling back at you. You deal with the legal system, which is never easy to do. And you just came out with a lot of cigars and said, okay, I'm a landlord, a slumlord. Probably did short sales in your life. That's the real estate market, and it's not as clean as the average person going out and buying a house. There's more to it when you're into commercial real estate, I'm sure.
Yep. Yep. No, we are. I'm in a residential real estate side of it, and we do a lot. We do a lot of shows. This big, huge business. My first short sale was in 2001, like beginning when I started. Even people didn't know what is mean short sale. And today it's everybody talk about it. Hey, short sale, you did short sale, you did that, you did that. This is the real estate market. I know it. I swim in it. It's my
I
market. It's
had
my
to,
business.
I did a short,
I love it.
I had to short sell my house back in
Okay.
2000, back during the housing crash, because I had
Yep.
gotten divorced and my ex-wife wanted to sell the house. She didn't want to stay in the house. And I was like, please stay for a year or two. This is going to recover. And the market kept doing this. So I ended up having a short sale of the house, which put me in the penalty box to buy a house. Right. So I
Yep.
couldn't get a mortgage for a while, but like 3 years in the waiting tank, 3 years to the day, I was able to buy my house. And I'm very happy being where I'm at, you know. But yeah, I mean that's a normal thing. That happens all the time in real estate. So
Yep.
so talk to me about your experience at
Yep.
PCA.
Yep.
So
Definitely time.
I had some time to discuss things with you just in general. And I've talked to different brand owners and retailers over the 3 days we were at PCA. I mean, I had my views. I got a lot from different people. What is your view on PCA 24?
The view, the view is a little bit this year it was mixed up. I can tell you that. There's a bit couple different view to this show. In overall, it was a good show. We cannot complain. People came over, and the people they came to buy. Nobody people came to
That I
just
heard.
walk around and just
People
walk
were
around and
ready.
smoke cigars.
People were
People
ordering.
came over to write an order. But I can be a little bit complaining into the big guys or either to the president of the PCA and all of the people over there. They are behind all of this big organization, and they're doing a great job. But they are not thinking to the end of the matter. They did a PCA right now in the Ramadan. Many of our customers are religion. They don't come
I
over
didn't realize.
into the
Well,
show.
hmm, interesting.
because the Ramadan. They cannot fly. They cannot be out there all day without food. So they don't come. It's okay. I just been in the other show a couple months ago. So why I need to spend the time again? The second thing, they move it from the Venetian to the convention, beautiful, but they put us all the way in the back after the construction. So maybe I can understand that it was cheaper to take this space for us because in the Venetian they don't like the smoke so much. But at the end of the day, we're spending the same amount of money to come to Vegas, staying for 5, 6 days, and we don't get the same result. So yes, people came, people show up. As far as I understand, it's only 1,900 people register to show up to the event, to the PCA. Last year it was, I think, 28, if I don't remember.
Was
If I don't,
1900, that was 1900 including brands? Was that just
no,
retailers?
no, 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 just retailer. But
Retailers,
each
right?
retailer,
1900.
yeah, but each retailer have few people coming in. So basically,
Of
it's only
course.
one. So it's 19, maybe it's 1,200 only. Uh, I'm going to do shows since 2009. I'm doing the Düsseldorf in Germany, PCA, the TP, all of the shows all around. For my to see if the show was good or no, it's how many people, new people, I bring to my family. How many more retailers came to the table, new one that I don't know, because my current customer we have a relationship. So always I can give him discount, always I can give him something to bump up the sale. So I looking at more how many more people I know, new one, how more people came over and tried to find a premium or boutique line. And this year, it was not many. I didn't see or experience new customer or new retailer to show up.
So
Most of them was the
Ishmael,
same.
Ishmael, you know Ishmael, right?
Yep.
Oliver. So Ishmael chimes in. He says, if there were more than 250 retailers, I will be shocked. I mean, shops. More than 250 shops, he'd be shocked.
Yep. Yeah. It can be. It can be. It can be. I think it was a little bit more than that, 250. Don't be bad, Ishmael. Don't be bad. Yes, but it's not a lot. If you look on the list, I believe you receive it as well. If you look on the list, you will see every five line or names of people is the same store because every
Yep.
store can get five guys. So
Were you at the
and
were
I look
you
at
at
there
the
is no
PCA last year and the year before when they opened up right after
yes
COVID? Because I
yes
missed
yes
those two because I had all kinds of conflicts, both family and a death in the family and all this other crazy stuff. But
right.
and climbing a mountain to raise a bunch of money for autism. But how would you compare the 24 PCA having been moved to March to the 23 and the 22?
Last year was much better than this year as far as number, as far as sales. But again, I counting how many new people I got, and last
Mm.
year I got a lot of new customers show up, and the show was good. The show was good. I was busy all 3.5 days writing orders, and it was nice. My location last year was not the best. I was all the way in the back, but regardless of that, I was busy all 3 days, and I got a lot of new people. Right after COVID, the show was strong. Many people came over and bought cigars, bought inventory because most of them don't even have inventory, didn't have a store even open in COVID. So they just came over and fill out the place with whatever they can get. I can tell you that whatever they can get. It was a nice show. We basically was the first show after COVID itself in Vegas.
So that was so the other thing this year, which I thought I don't think worked out well, was having the show on Monday. They did a whole day on Monday. So the actual, for those that are watching that weren't there, the show floor opened on a Saturday. People showed up on
Everybody,
Thursday, and then
everybody was making mistakes.
yeah, they showed up on Thursday. Friday was not a show floor day. It was all the meetings and the annual meeting of the PCA and the welcome reception and all of that. And I think that kind of put a kink in things because people are going to go home, right? I mean, it's Mondays, they want to go home Monday. All right. So people flew out
Yeah, yeah.
Sunday night or Monday morning. Um, and that show floor was
I
really empty, tremendously empty on Monday. And then they
Yes, but I don't
forced
think
you
this
before
was.
you could leave. The fun part was at the end of the show. So there were two ways of bringing in your your stock and your and your booth. One is you pay the union workers to do it, all right, and two you have to bring it in yourself, but you got to park in the parking lot like you said, and you had to lug everything in. You weren't allowed to wheel it in. You had to carry everything in and carry everything out. And what I learned on the last day, talking to one of my friends in the business, I was sitting with them. They were getting ready to break things down, and you weren't allowed to move anything until they removed all the carpet on the floor, which added an extra probably hour plus before you could, get out.
Yep, yep. I don't think the time of the date is like Monday or Tuesday or Saturday. Yes, it can be better start on Friday, but when they thinking to schedule something like that, again, as I said before, it was the Ramadan, it was March Madness, and it was a spring break.
Mm-hmm.
So everything in Vegas was expensive. Hotel, driving, flying. They need to think about this retailer that come over. They spend so much money to come over, and some of them say, "Hey, I don't make this money in a day. Why you want me to go close my place and go to Vegas for 3, 4 days? No, it's too expensive. Why they cannot wait next week or the week after? Why they must to do it in that time of the year?"
And Ishmael makes another good point. I'm glad he brought it up. I was gonna bring it up anyway. Is there are a lot of retailers that are now just now receiving product from the 23 PCA. Okay. Right.
This
And
is a
that
big.
became, that's an issue. But I think the clock is reset. So the clock is reset now. And next year we're doing it in New Orleans. Right. So we got a year and a month. Actually, it's in April next year, if I understand correctly.
It's
So
April 21, April 21,
so
22.
hopefully it doesn't run into Ramadan. It doesn't run into Passover. It's close to Passover, right? When's Passover next year?
No, it's a Passover. It's a night of the Passover.
They're having it next year is the night of the
Listen,
Passover.
it's the night of the Passover. Now you smiling, and I tell you now, I'm gonna do with that big limonada because I'm announcing right now, but I don't know how many people I can take together, but I gonna do a big Leil Seder or a Passover dinner
Let's do a
for the
Seder.
Jewish and for not Jewish. Oh yeah, this is
Oh
what I'm gonna
yeah.
do. 100 people, 150 people. I don't know how many the hotel will allow me to get into my room, but I already start to talk with them to have the room in the first floor with the penthouse that we can
I'm
sit over
down.
there,
I'm
50,
down for a
60 hours.
Seder.
Okay,
You count
you're
me in on
invited.
that
You're
one.
invited.
Okay,
Okay,
because all I know
so
is I drink a
again,
lot of good wine during Seder.
it's gonna be a kosher. It's gonna be a kosher wine.
Of course, it's got to be like Manischewitz or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of wine, a lot of kosher wine.
Hmm. That's right. So
So
that would be
again,
something to look forward
why
to.
they doing it in the yeah
I
yeah?
guess
So why to do it in
there's
the Lela
never a
Seder?
perfect
To
time,
be before.
right? Never a perfect time. At that time of the year, you'd
I
have
I
to
don't
break
I
into
don't I don't
May.
I think they can find. I, yeah, but you go to May or you do it in the middle of April. Do it 1 week before.
But there's always something
It's
going
not.
on.
No, so if it's the Pascha, this is like today is a Sunday, it's going to be on Sunday. So 3 weeks after it's the Passover for the Jewish people. So between that you can do it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Very,
That's true.
very
Ramadan
good.
is over. Easter, well, and Easter moves around. I mean, does
Yeah.
Passover move around, or is it just Easter that moves it? Because Easter moves
Yeah.
every
No,
year
no, 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 no.
based on the
Always,
full
always.
moon and the signs and the
Yeah, yeah.
stars, and then
Always the
boom, it goes
Passover.
in.
Yeah, the Passover is always 3 weeks after the Easter.
3 weeks after
Always.
Easter. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So you got that
So
couple weeks in between, which opens it up. All right, and then you've
yeah,
got
more than that in the
schools.
big question. In the big question, why to bring it to New Orleans? There's no
People have been
cigar stores
demanding.
around in New Orleans.
People have been demanding bringing it back to the East Coast once in a while, because flying over to the West Coast all the time, it's a lot more work. Remember, a lot of these
You the,
brands like yourself are in Miami, so you get in a truck and you
no, no,
drive to New Orleans as
of
opposed to
course, definitely.
flying.
But there is no cigar market in New Orleans. Do
No,
it in Tampa,
no,
do it in
it's going to
Orlando,
be, it'll
do it
be
in
interesting.
do it in Chicago, do it
Well,
in.
you see, you
There's
can't.
many
This
places
is,
around that
you
the
see, you,
cigar market. You just do the show. You add to the
but
cigar market.
but I've argued that point, and I said, why don't you do it at the Hard Rock down in Fort Lauderdale? You got a casino, you got a big hotel. You could plan this years ahead and make sure block out rooms, right? It's smoke friendly because it's on Indian property, right? So that's not a problem. You don't have to deal with any Florida state law against smoking in places, because they don't control that. And that would work, right? But some people say,
Yep.
hey, there's just not enough room for people. And then Orlando, you can't do it in convention centers. The laws here are just atrocious as far as outside of a cigar shop. You go to Chicago, is probably even worse, from what I understand. And then you get New Orleans. New Orleans, you're going to be able to do it they probably got a waiver finally to have smoking in the convention center where they're going to have it. But the rest of if the people are going to leave the convention center at night, they're going to go down to have dinners in places, right? And then they're going to
Yeah.
show up at a place like the French Quarter. The French Quarter is not giving nobody a waiver. And the law there is you're not allowed to smoke anything within 20 feet of a building. And if you're walking down the middle of a street in the French Quarter, they're super narrow. You're within 20 feet. They can nail you all day long. We're gonna have thousands of people walking around smoking cigars. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. Yeah, and everybody else agrees. You can't smoke inside in Chicago. Yeah. Yeah, everybody agrees that you can't smoke inside of Chicago, in Chicago
No,
area.
no, you're
So
absolutely, absolutely. I say Chicago. I know Chicago. There's a problem over there, but I'm pretty sure with the money that we bring to the city in these 4 5 days,
huge.
you can do some conscious in
I mean, you're right. We
some of the law
we
and stuff like that.
bring if you have you figure between the 1900 retailers you mentioned plus all of the brand owners, and then everybody else like me that goes, you're looking at 3,000 plus cigar smoking people. And
Yep,
we go out to dinner, right? We're spending money. So restaurants
yep,
just thrive on that. And if, in Vegas, there's so many different places you can go to, right? But when you're
yep,
known, smaller, it would be wonderful to open the door and allow waivers to say, okay, you could smoke out on the front patio, outside, the outside decks that they have. They're going to have to, hopefully they figure that out. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I haven't talked to anybody about it, what the rules are, but I'm sure
yep.
we'll find out.
They try. They try the way I'm looking at it, it looks like that they try to follow what other show does, like TPE and stuff like that. And no, just do your own thing, just for the cigar. Do something special. Do something different. The way you set up the all of the booths in the show and the show floor, they can make it a little bit better for that everybody going to be enjoying the consumer, the money that comes to the table, the retailer, and the show himself. So there's a little bit more thinking need to be into it. But
Well, this year
we
where
are
they
the
had it
little, we
was
are the little people.
this year where they had it was the same place they normally have TPE, but TPE has just a small cigar footprint, so it's easy to
Yep,
navigate. But when you put PCA in that space, it's just really wide, right? And
yep.
I know some brand owners were like they would sit in a booth and you got big boots in front of them and you can't see and at one, people would say it looked empty, but if you walk 2 aisles over, there was just like a flow of people walking through, but you didn't see that. I saw that as I walked around. I saw certain parts that had population density moving and shifting around. Um, but because of the width of it, it was hard to grasp that if you were sitting in certain places to actually see what I saw.
Listen, when you open a grocery in New York City, in Miami, in Chicago, you go inside and you put the refrigerator with the milk all the way in the end of the show, in the end of the store. Why? Because the idea, I come for a meal, but I came out with the bread, with the meat, with everything else all around.
And the
So you need
diapers
to
and the
walk
thing.
everything. So you need to walk all the way to get you the milk. And actually, they put the milk like in a $3, less than the cost that they can have the customer coming all the way and pass by the store.
So you're
They are
saying
not
put
thinking that
put
way.
some of the bigger guys at the back and force people to walk through
That's
and
all about.
notice the little guys along the way.
Yes, because when they put the big guys right in the front, they like a vacuum get all of their retailers telling them as much as they can. And listen, it's a business. I have nothing against that. Of course, give me some share with that. And when they finish with the big guys, and the next day they're coming over to us, to the premium stuff, to the small company, hey, we don't have any more budget. We spend
Hmm.
everything over there, we spend everything over here. It's fine, it's business at the end of the day, but share with everybody. All of us have a passion to this business, and we want to do well as you do. But once you put it right in the front, it's like, okay, so just do show for the big guys, and then do show for the small guys. This is why the small guy is doing much better in a TPE.
Well, that's why they tried to continue to build the BCA to try to eventually possibly have their own, but they broke bread with the PCA now, so they're kind of aligned on having it at PCA. But you
Yep.
could build a bigger boutique organization, small brand organization, and just have your own festival, your own trade show if you wanted to.
Yep.
But that would put you at odds with PCA, and that this becomes
All
it does
simply.
it just doesn't work because then you're going to create too much friction, I think, in the business. But you got to do what's right for your business. That's why TPE was so good for some of the smaller brands because it gave them exposure at a low cost point entry.
No, it's not even cheaper to go to the TPE than the PCA. PCA are cheaper than TPE.
PCA was cheaper. They
But
always
it's not
everybody
about how
told me
much
it
it
was
costs.
cheaper at TPE. Small,
Yes.
you get the small
The P-
pavilion at you get a small pavilion at TPE, and they did well
yeah, yeah,
in
but
those
but
parts.
yeah, but it's more expensive than the TCA. It's
Really,
more money.
I've heard
Yeah.
different, but I'll have to check the facts. Okay.
It's more money. Uh, and then the big guys don't bother you in the middle, and you got the old stores coming all over, and this is what you're doing. You build a little bit better. So when you have an organization like the PCA, they need to think about everybody. not just the big guys, not just the small guys, and just find a way in the middle.
Well,
We in the end of the
it's
day, we're
about
a big family.
drawing.
That's all.
At the end of the day, it's also about your reach prior to PCA or any of these trade shows, whatever you do, to get out there and get it out to all the retailers. You know, you all have the list of every retailer in the country, I'm sure. Okay. So there should be,
Yeah.
strategic email blasts going out to all the retailers, letting them know you're there. This is the deal you're going to give. Because some of the deals I heard too weren't all that advantageous. I heard retailers tell me that the deals weren't that great, at PCA like they used to be, you know. So that's a problem too. People fly all the way out there to spend all that money, the retailers, to go in to shop around, and you're giving me a 5-1. That's not that great of a deal.
Yep, I know. And I give a great deal at the show. It's not, I don't
What
give
did
it
you
anymore.
give?
It's only
What
for
did
the
you
show.
give? What did you give at the show this year?
Lucky number 7. Buy 7 bundle, get 7 bundle.
You buy 7, you get 7
Yeah, bundle in bundles.
bundles. So
Yep.
okay, so you buy some. Now, did I have to buy any boxes to get the bundles? Was there a
Nope.
caveat to that, or I could just buy
No.
bundles? So if I'm your
Yeah.
shop, if I'm one of your shops, and I already have the original line on my shelf, I could just come in and buy bundles at the show, 7 buy 7 get 7, so 50% off is what you're
Correct.
giving me.
And yes, and some of the customers, the new customers that got this great deal, I just give them a couple of boxes empty, and they're going to put it on the shelf. In the show, for me, yes, you're making money, you want to spend, not to spend too much, but for me, it's a long relationship. So let me know
Yeah, you got
you,
to play the long
take the
game for
cigar,
sure. Yeah.
a long game. So, and if you look, I send you one of my flyers. I'm the only one in the world that say on the flyer, read what I say on the red in the back.
So yeah, so that's a very good point. I was glad you did. It's a good segue. You're a good
Yeah.
straight man. So on the back of this flyer,
And in
this
the
is the
back of
one that
that, in
shows.
red,
I know.
what
I'm
I
gonna
say.
get there. I'm gonna get there. So this is the flyer that shows everybody the original blends with all the 8 different Vitolas. But in the back, right in the middle,
You're breaking out.
right here, it says 100% satisfaction guaranteed. If for any reason you don't like our cigars, send them back for a full refund. How many people have you given a full refund to?
Nothing.
0?
Nothing. The only nothing. Nobody return. Nobody complain. Yes, I replace boxes completely. Some people, don't. You know what? Let's start with the Robusto. It's a cheaper price, but in your store, you cannot sell Robusto. You're selling only Gordo. So yes, I change boxes from small to a big, open box to a bigger
But
size.
not because they
Yes,
didn't
this I
like
did.
the cigars.
No.
Right.
Never happened.
Interesting.
So I'm looking and thinking. It's not just about the customer that's buying the cigar, the smoker in the end of the line. Because yes, they can buy from me the cigars, and if they cannot sell it, they're never going to buy again. So, and if the customer don't like it, nobody going to buy it again. And we're doing a
So,
lot of events, a lot
so
of events.
I just finished the Landlord. Okay, Habano. I'm going to tell you, that was a pleasurable cigar. I'm not going to necessarily give you a lot of notes on it right now, but it burned very well. It had nice flavor. I can't wait to sit back in quiet solitude and put it all together. One of the things that you have been adamant about in discussing cigars, which we haven't discussed yet, is the concept of aging. Okay. You
Oh,
like to talk about aging and how some people get it wrong. So talk to me a little bit about aging and what it means to you and
not
what you go through.
not every cigar can be aged. If you roll a cigar today and you want, you know what? I hear that these cigars are going to put it away and it's going to be better cigar. Not necessarily. If you roll the cigars on the right way to be aged, you can age it. We do, and whatever we roll in our Cure line, in the Erez line, we age the cigars at least 5 years. So the white label cigar that you have over there, I sent a few of them. They are 2019 production. They are not 6 months ago or a year ago. So any cigars that we do with the white label, we age it for 5 years. So the way that you roll the cigars, you don't just bunch them and roll it or put it in the machine and let it run. You need to have a perfection of weight. Now, when you age the cigar, the strength of the cigar, all of my cigars are full body, long filler, all the good stuff. But once you age it, the strength of the cigars go away, but the flavor of the cigar go all the way up. So if someone young guys come over and say, give me a good cigars, I want a cigars, most likely I tell them, don't get my cigars. Because my cigars, the strain, the paprika, go low. The ammonia in the cigar going down. Obviously, on any cigar there is ammonia, but when you age it, this ammonia go a little bit away. All the nicotine go a little bit away from the cigar, and the flavor of the cigar go up.
Right.
So we love to age the cigar. Uh,
Now you're aging the
well,
cigar. When you talk about aging a cigar, there is obviously the time in fermentation, which is part of the aging. Okay. Then obviously all the sorting and baling, and then the storage of the cigars, the leaf in the sack is considered, many people will say, aging. So when you have something like this is aged 5 years, what is the five? How do you calculate the 5 years?
the 5 years is from the day, the 5 years the day when we put the wrapper on the bunch.
So this
Basically,
is in an
after you roll
aging
the
room. This
cigar,
is in an
the
aging
cigar
room for
sitting
5 years.
5 years.
So you keep these. So this box is
Correct.
these have been in an aging room in a wheel for
Yep.
five
Yep.
years in the aging room.
Correct.
Okay.
Not packing in these boxes. In
Mhm.
the beginning, we used to pack it like 60 days after, 65 days after. We used to pack the cigars, put them inside, and let's edge it. But because of my label, white label, and the white boxes, it didn't work quite well. The boxes become a little bit yellow and all kinds of stuff like that. It's fine. So we pack it on the fourth year. We start to pack them, and when we do right now the label, we cover the label the UV, and the UV is a little bit more heavy on the paper, that the paper will not become yellow. I'm talking about the ring, the label, the paper that you
Mhm.
put on the cigar. So on the fourth year, we start to pack it as we need for the sales. By the time we go to the store, it's already 5 years. If you want a little bit cheating and say, you know what? No, this cigar was aging for 9, 8 years. You know,
Mm.
this is a marketing tool because the tobacco that we're buying is also aging
That's what I was
for
gonna
three
say.
years.
You've
Four,
yeah,
yeah.
you had to get
So it's
fermented.
wrong.
It was baled. You source. Does your so you using a factory, the same factory you've used the whole time?
Yes.
Okay, and that factory, does it have its own fields, or are you sourcing most of your
No,
leaf
no,
from
no. We sourcing the tobacco.
sourcing?
We buying the tobacco ready to roll.
Right.
We
So
just clean the tobacco to clean.
you're buying aged tobacco, and it's up
Correct.
to you and your factory friends to be able to know how well that tobacco has been aged, because
Correct.
they could
Yep.
say X on the market, but you're the only one that'll be able to sit there and go, this is good tobacco, right?
There you go. Yep. Yep. So we go, we chosen, and most of the time there is no many people they're fighting with me on the same tobacco that I like, just because it's aging, so it's more expensive. More there is no enough of them. Uh, so yeah, so the tobacco is 3 4 years when we buying it, and then you roll it, and then sit another 5 years. So some people say no, it's 8 years tobacco. No, it's incorrect. Once you roll it, once you bunch it, all the tobacco need to be bound together, and you do the cigars even a little bit bigger than whatever you need to,
Mhm.
because as a process that you age them, the cigar becomes smaller. It's only a little bit millimeter of it, but it's bunched together, and you need to keep the cigars always running around the humidor on the aging room. Otherwise, the color will not going to be changed on the wrapper, and you don't want to do that.
So right now, go one last topic I want to hit. So I just fired up the Classico, okay,
Okay.
because I kept looking at it during the show, and you told me this is on for the international market, and I wanted to check something, and
Okay.
correct me if I'm wrong. When you blended this cigar, okay, people blend cigars for flavor, for strength, for burn, and they also blended telling the buncheros how to bunch them and what to do to put what the drawer is. This cigar right
Correct.
now is what I would describe truly as an international cigar because it's got a tighter drawer than you'll find in America. And they like tighter drawers over in Europe. They don't like, we don't, not to say we have loose drawers, we do, but we have that medium level. This is always going to be a little tighter over there. And I guess that comes from the Cuban world, from their experience in the past. Is
Yes, we looking at it not just as a tied wall. It's more a full. When they smoke, they want to feel full. They want to get all of the meat from the smoke right and from the beginning. They don't want to wait into the middle of the cigars or the end of the cigars. They want to feel right from the beginning. They want to smoke and feel and be, how I can describe it, full mouth of
mm,
of smoke. In the other end in the state, they like to have it more easy smoke, because in Europe, let's say, they don't smoke the amount cigars that we are smoking over here in the States.
right.
We like to smoke over here 4 or 5 cigars. Over there, they cannot be able to do it because of the weather, because of the prices, because of many, many things. So when they smoke it, they want to feel it. They want the
Good.
spices right there in the beginning.
And that's what this is doing. Because if you look at how I'm drawing this,
Yep.
I gotta I gotta pull it in a little more. But I'm getting like you said it very interesting. I never heard it described that way, where you're going for the meat of the cigar. All right. And I never heard it described that way, but I might use that going forward in my world. Okay. So
My pleasure.
let's move away from cigars for a brief moment. We're at the hour and a half. Um, let's talk about we already know you're a real estate guy, you're a slumlord, you're a landlord, you're all of that stuff. Um, what do you like to do when you're on vacation? Where do you go? You live in Miami, where like, you're like on permanent vacation. But what do you like to do outside of the cigar world?
Uh, I like to sail. I like to go to the ocean. Anything to the ocean, it's my love, it's my favor. So like to find the places that not many people can go there, or not many people I will see there, or maybe the cell phone service will be off. Uh, the recent vacation that we did, not even far away, maybe more of people know it. It's Aguadilla in Puerto Rico. Uh, we say, oh, let's go over there for a week. I'm honest, I didn't know where I'm going, but I say it's by the water, it's Puerto Rico, not taking me wrong. And it turned around to be beautiful vacation, amazing time. We go over there to the beach, and people tell us, "Hey, go to the mountain, pass the big stone, and go to the other side." I, some people know what I'm talking about. I actually go all of this with a flip flop. I didn't know where I'm going to. Walking around for 5 hours on the mountain and the beaches, it was amazing experience. So I love to go to sailing. I like to diving, swimming, surfing, anything
Are you
that's
a
related
master? Are you a
to
master
the
diver?
beach. And
Are you a master diver?
no,
No.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm a free diver. And I like to sail with the catamaran and everything and that. So
You have your own sailboat?
I'm looking for one to buy. I didn't
Okay.
find the right one that I'm looking to, but I will be one very shortly. I can say that. Yeah. So beach, water, and some basketball on the side. Never say no to
Basketball.
basketball.
You play basketball? Did you say you play basketball?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I used to play back in the days in Israel, in the league, first league, as well.
What position
So,
did you play?
how you call it on the side? You know,
Point guard or
nothing,
something like that, or whatever it is. I don't know. I
nothing
don't know
special
about. I
about
personally don't know a
the
lot
play,
about
but no,
basketball.
no, yeah.
You know, my jam is baseball, and baseball season started yesterday. So, you know,
So let's go. I don't know
I'm ready
nothing
to
about.
watch another game tonight. To the wee hours of the
Okay.
morning, because they're in Seattle, the Red Sox.
Okay. I
So
don't
you
know
like to
nothing about no.
travel. You like to travel. You like to sail. Um, what kind of music do you like to sit back and listen to?
Old music,
Old,
all of
rock
the
and mean, huh?
old, yep,
I mean, that could be Bach
old,
and
old.
Beethoven.
No, 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 no Beethoven, but no Beethoven, but I don't have specific music that I like to hear because I'm not sitting and hear music all day. But when you're driving, yes. When you're on the beach, you hear some. But all good times music, the '60s, the '70s, the
Old
'80s.
60s rock and roll, 70s rock and roll. Kind of what my
Yeah,
vinyl collection has over here.
there you go, there you go.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm not a music guy that's listening all the music and looking for the music. No, no, this is
All
no,
right.
no this one and no art. Don't understand nothing on art.
Now, you like going watching movies and streaming shows at all, or you don't have time for that?
No, I don't have time for that. Period. But if I see something that I like, yes, I go to in the Netflix or stuff like that. That's interesting me. Like the Blacklist, I saw it a couple times already. Like everybody, stuff that's more interesting and more looking into it. The legal system series that you have in Netflix and Amazon TV and all of that. But you cannot see me watching TV every day. Yes, I watch the news. Yeah, Fox News. Everybody asking, yeah, Fox News. I'm watching Fox News. Yeah.
I like Turner Classic Movies. I like really old, black and white, 1930s, late 20s, 30s movies. And what I like about it more as I get older is what the stories that they were telling, how apropos it is to today's world. Like, we haven't changed one bit. We can argue everything we want about how the world works, but you know what? It's regurgitate, and you go back and you look at those movies, they're tackling things, social issues of the time. And when you
Yep.
look at it, if you closed your eyes and didn't know it was a black and white movie in the 1930s, you think they were talking about today. How it just keeps moving. I mean, human beings are just crazy people. We are just, that's why there's no aliens here, because they ain't never coming here. Because they're like, you guys don't know what you're
And
doing
by,
yet.
by the way, in a real estate business, squatter that everybody talking about it today, this is start on the 1930, 1920, 1940. That people
Mhm.
came over to the town, see an empty building, got it. This is squatting. But these days, today, is done. There is not the same. But this is something always go to the past, into to the current days of now it's in the real estate marketing. But like this
Well,
center right now in Florida changed the law about it. You sign a law.
Florida, don't get me started with my home state, your home state, because right now, if they don't fix the insurance problem, we're gonna have a housing crash in this state like they've never saw before. Because people can't afford to come here. What people in the north were coming here because it was cheap. It's no longer that way, because they're paying low taxes, but they're paying ridiculous insurance. Where in New York, it was the other way around. They pay high taxes and low insurance. So when you add the two together,
It depends.
it's getting really close to same on value.
It depend where in New York. In five borough, the taxes are very low,
Well, I'm
and in the
comparing it to
insurance as
Long
well.
Island. I'm comparing it to where I lived in Long Island.
But I think we are disagreeing on the view that you're looking at, because if a guy sell his apartment in Manhattan for $2-3 million, or $1.5 million, or $1 million, and come down to Florida, he can find a private house, 5 bedroom with the pool.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
can get that beautiful house, but their insurance, if they can get it. See where I'm going?
you.
If you can get insurance. Now, that's a big, and that's the biggest issue we have here in the state of Florida. But I don't want to get into that.
No,
I
I
won't
know
get
the
too deep
stuff.
into it. You know.
By the way, I'm right now doing something related to that in Florida, in Miami, and citizens start to insure people back, not in expensive way, if we are owner occupied.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm part of that program. So I know it
Okay.
well. I know it well.
Yeah.
Um,
There is many things need to be fixed in Florida, and they're supposed to do it faster than sooner, because the population over here down in Miami, I know you're in Melbourne, but over here in Aventura in Miami, the population, and it's crazy. Prices and people, too much.
it's crazy.
We welcome everybody. We welcome everybody.
Everybody come on down.
Yep.
Yanni, it has been a pleasure. I'm so happy you were able to take an hour and a half of your day. I know folks have been watching us. It's kind of faded off. It always does at this time. Um, but I'm going to give you the last word.
Thank everybody to come over to watch your show. Jimmie, thank you to have me over here to talk about my issue, my future, and this future of the big family cigar business. And hopefully everybody going to be a big success for next year. Let's see what's happening in the election. Always the politics coming to the end.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Yanni, I
Definitely.
appreciate you coming on. Love my sponsors. Thank you for out that. This show's always a little bit harder to do. Don't forget, if you're still watching, go to stogiepress.com/perilous. Register to be a contestant. I need contestants. I need contestants. Okay. So the more contestants we have, we'll be able to run this show and you're gonna love it. So get out there and do it. Um, should have made a stronger announcement in the beginning, but that's okay. We'll keep pressing the envelope. So thanks, Yanni. I appreciate your time. And
Thank you,
yeah,
everybody.
I'm enjoying this. And with that, we are no longer live. All right, just you and I, brother.
Good. Yep, yep. Thank you very much, Johnny. I
Went
really, really
well.
appreciate it.
Went well. My
Yep.
interviews are
You tell me.
fairly easy. We had kind of a hardball thing to deal with on this, and
Yeah.
it went fine. But most of my shows are just like this. It's just a conversation. We just drive into different avenues and just have fun talking, smoking a cigar. You didn't smoke anything because you're in a room. You didn't smoke no cigars in the whole show.
No, I did not. I
Yeah.
spoke too much. And I have everything. Everything is laid down over here for me. Everything. No, but I go to smoke right now. How is this smoke? How the classical?
This is very nice. I mean, there's a really nice fruity note in the back, like a core of fruit on this. As soon as I lit it up, there's a beautiful, sweet, creamy aroma coming off of it. A little bit of spiciness. Yeah, this is without a doubt a international profile. No.
Yep.
I mean, I've been over there. Believe me, I've lived in Europe. I lived in Japan. I lived in China. I lived in Russia. Lived all over the freaking place. And I could tell you, the Europeans, they're slowly moving into New World cigars, and they're beginning to realize that there's a lot to be had out there. So,
Oh, of course, of course.
how
For us
many
it's easy.
shops are
For us
you
it's
in?
easy because we are fighting the
How big are you over in Europe right now?
how many shots?
Yeah,
I'm
how are
big,
you doing in Europe?
huge.
Bigger than
US,
the US?
very, very well. Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
I just signed a deal with Italian market. We're gonna start to sell it. I have gonna be a big wholesaler in Sicilia,
What, you're going to displace
in Israel.
Toscano?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
Trying to.
shit.
I'm trying to. It's 88 store, believe it or not. 88 store just in Italy. And in Israel, we opened about 2 years ago. I opened a big distribution in Israel, and we are already bringing like 6 different brands beside me, and we're the only one selling store to store. We have salespeople that go store to store over there in Israel,
So
New Zealand.
Does Israel operate the way Europe does, where you have to have distributors? You can't individually sell to the stores.
No, no, you can, no problem. There's no problem with that.
Okay.
But the
All right.
problem in Israel is that you need to have the warning sticker on the box.
Of course. Okay. Well, Europe's
The
like
no, but
that
it's
too.
big. No, not everywhere, not everywhere, not everywhere. We need to put the
Yeah, but the
sticker 60%.
distributors handle that in Europe, right? They
Yeah,
know they put the stickers on, right?
no, yeah, yeah, not all of them. I put some of them
Hmm.
in my place, but 60% need to be in Hebrew and 60% in the back of the box need to be in Arabic. Yeah,
Do you have to put
and if
gory
you sell it,
pitches on it like they're doing Europe, like in
no,
Germany, where like,
no picture, but word, big word. You know, if you smoke too much, you get cancer. If you smoke, there's all kind of stuff like that. Cigarette, they didn't even see cigar. Cigarette is no good for your health in Hebrew and Arabic, and you need to put it on cigar boxes.
no, we do
So
that.
they make a lot of,
I mean, we do the same thing, right? I mean, yeah,
yeah, it's too small. They want it
no.
right in the front on top. Yeah, But
But
it is
here we don't
here
kill
the
we don't kill the look of the box. I'm glad we won that battle because this is free
yeah.
speech and part of marketing.